My girl need her hair and her nails done.
Does she have an appointment?
Nah, she don't have no hair either.
Hayward. Maxine, make an appointment. And why are you always wearing these hats? What are you hiding?
Girl, give me my hat back. I'm my new girl.
Put it back on. You need to let me do something to that head of yours.
Ladies, we love our braids, knotless, box, feed-ins, and even twisties. You name it, we wear it all, especially during the summer months. But recently, there's been a lot of talk about whether braiding hair can actually cause cancer. Could the very thing that protects our natural hair be harming our health? It wasn't too long ago when there were claims about hair relaxers giving African American women cancer. And now here we are when it comes to synthetic braiding hair. And I think what it is the process and the chemicals that make up the braiding hair. Hey, ever noticed when you tap on your head or when you're beating on your head because your hair is itchy? That's an allergic reaction. And it's a sign that you need to take it out your head. Now, for years, I've always worn braids during the summer months. But right now, I don't think for the year 2025 that I'll be wearing braids if this is something that is happening within our community.
Our latest investigation found carcinogens in all 10 products of artificial braiding hair that we tested. Beauty products such as synthetic braiding hair are largely unregulated, and some ingredients are not required to be listed on the package. This puts the health of people who wear synthetic braiding hair and the braiders who install them at risk. If you wear synthetic braids, one tip to decrease your overall exposure is to take breaks between installs. Braids are often worn for many weeks, and prolonged repeated exposure increases your risk. We contacted all synthetic braiding hair brands we tested for comment. Only two, Sensational and Magic Fingers, responded, both disagreeing with our testing methodology. Hair's own Sensational said, "We unequivocally stand by the safety of Sensational products, and our company urges consumers to continue to confidently use Sensational products." Magic Finger said that we strongly stand by the safety of our products and the quality materials used to make them. Neither company responded to questions about whether or not they do pre-market testing of their products for lead, volatile organic compounds, or other contaminants. Read our full investigation, including other concerning findings from our tests, through the link in our bio.
It looks like silk press season is gonna have to last a little bit longer because apparently braiding hair is causing cancer. And shout out to Consumer Reports because they put your favorite braiding hair to the test. Mine too, friend.
Our latest investigation found carcinogens in all 10 products of artificial braiding hair that we tested. Beauty products such as synthetic braiding hair are largely unregulated, and some ingredients are not required to be listed on the package.
Now, Consumer Reports stated that they had tested these 10 braiding hair companies, the most popular ones. Not Shake and Go. I don't think I ever heard of that one. But they tested these 10. And Magic Fingers and Sensational were the two biggest offenders in having carcinogens in their braiding hair. Now, I saw a lot of people in the comments saying that it affects just the person getting the braids, but no, it also affects the hair braider, the person who's actually touching this hair, who's touching the hair just as much as the person getting it installed. Now, after they reached out to Sensational, they put out this statement and said, "We unequivocally stand by the safety of Sensational products, and our company urges consumers to continue to confidently use Sensational products." And then they reached out to Magic Fingers because the other companies didn't have a statement. And Magic Fingers said, "We strongly stand by the safety of our products and the quality materials used to make them." But they don't offer any testing to see what they do. Like, these are overseas companies 10 times out of 10. So we don't know what kind of factory testing they do. And again, when they're overseas, their regulations are a little bit different than ours, even though the Food and Drug Administration does not regulate braiding hair or braiding hair products or most hair care products. Now, in that video, he also goes on to state that they put together this full article. When I read the article, a couple of things stood out to me, but I encourage you to read it for yourself. And first, they stated the testing found heavy metals such as arsenic, mercury, lead, and cadmium. They stated that you are going to be exposed to some of these in some level of degree at the micro level. But they said because you can be exposed to heavy metals in so many ways, it's important to know where they are and to minimize exposure. and they're in your braiding hair. Now, the second portion of this article that stood out to me was a study conducted by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. They talk about EDC, which is endocrine disrupting chemicals. And your endocrine system is what balances your hormones. Now, the National Institute states that even low level amounts of the cadmium, arsenic, and mercury, even low levels, can negatively affect immunity, metabolism, puberty in humans, and reproduction. And they saw these tests in mice. It also goes on to say that Black women have been found to have much higher concentrations of many of those endocrine disrupting chemicals. In another study conducted by the Silent Spring Institute, they stated that these chemicals don't operate in isolation, they're operating together. They're sitting on your scalp, referring to the braids. And when something is sitting on your scalp, it can be dermally absorbed. And it doesn't just require heat, it's literally sitting on your head. They also talk about hand to mouth. When you're touching your braids and then you go and eat something, yeah, that's exactly how most of that stuff is going to be transferred through your scalp and through your mouth. During this economic blackout, I really want to encourage Black women to be really cautious about braiding hair and attempt to find alternatives to using these very popular braiding hair companies, because it's literally a matter of life and death.
All right, let's dissect Consumer Reports' findings that synthetic braiding hair contains carcinogens, because people are already jumping to conspiracy theories. So they tested 10 different products for the presence of heavy metals as well as volatile organic compounds, VOCs. The brands are in the left-hand corner, including Darling, Debut, and Sensational. And they tested each product twice, which is why you see duplicates of each one. And they concluded that all 10 products contained levels of lead that exceeded the maximum allowable dose level, as set by California, because there is no national level for this. However, the MADL they went off of is for drinking water, which is only based off of oral exposure, not dermal exposure. So I emailed them asking why did they base the exposure limit off of oral exposure, not dermal exposure, because you're not eating your braids. And part of the reason they went with the oral exposure model is because of the likelihood of braiders coming in contact with the braid by eating food after braiding somebody's hair and not washing their hands, or little kids with braided hair putting the braids in their mouth. And while I understand why they went with that model, I don't agree with it because, again, you're not intentionally ingesting braids. Any contact with the mouth is incidental. Plus, the limit for lead allowed in lipstick is 5 ppm, while none of the lead concentrations in the tested braid samples exceeded 0.2 ppm. And you're much more likely to ingest lead via lipstick than you are via hair. But you might ask, why is there lead allowed at all? It's because lead is kind of impossible to get rid of. It's elemental, it's in the ground. So these are very conservative limits to account for the fact that lead is just ubiquitous. And as for the VOCs, the level of benzene detected in this is far below the standard set by OSHA for daily exposure. But the biggest concern with the VOCs would be acetone, which may or may not be a concern for you if you get nails done, because you are exposed to some amount of VOCs when you boil the braids to seal the ends. So if you have any respiratory issues, breathing in that acetone might be a concern. Otherwise, I don't find their findings cause for alarm because the levels detected here are far below other things like bentonite clay. Bentonite clay has a good amount of lead in it. But ultimately, I'm just here to help you make informed decisions. I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't buy. If you'd like synthetic hair alternatives, I have a video on rebundle that you should check out. Also worth noting that this product from Sensational contained no detectable levels of lead. I hope this helps.
Y'all, I swear to y'all, them people is not lying about that braiding hair. Last year, a girl had emailed me for promo for Knotless Plus, and I ended up going to her to do the promo. And after she did my hair, maybe like a little after a week, I literally broke out in a big rash in my head. It was almost like I had hives, like it was making my skin crawl. I had to wake up in the middle of the night and go to Aventure Urgent Care. They had to give me literal cream, like some drop shit to put in my head to cure it up, and I had to take the hair out. So my mom like, I ain't never going back to this girl. If you on my YouTube, you remember this happened to me. I'm like, I ain't never going back to this girl. I don't know what she used in my head, but that it broke me out, right? And this was the first time this happened to me. I done had knotless pets like years ago. I always used to wear knotless, right? So a couple of months later, I end up going to my homegirl and I told her what happened. She used different hair and everything. I promise y'all, no lie, the shit happened again. Like 4 days later, I started seeing bumps in my head and they was getting like little pus heads in them. I had to take my hair out like 4 days later. I was so mad. I don't know what they done did to that hair, but it is true. That hair has something in it that is causing us disease. They say it's cancer. I don't know, but that hair got something in it.
I had watched a young lady video, this was a while ago, and she was washing her braiding hair. And she was showing the water, how the water looked when you wash your braiding hair. Now, she was the first person I ever seen like wash, it wasn't like human braiding hair. This is regular Yaki braiding hair. And she was the first person I actually seen wash it. And the water was filthy. It was really filthy. And then next thing you know, I just started seeing videos of girls braiding their own hair. And they was always putting the hair in their mouth. You know, like half the... And I just couldn't understand, like, why are you putting braiding hair in your mouth? Because you don't know where it's coming from. It is packaged. And it has to have chemicals on it to get it that look, that texture, and everything. So I didn't understand why people always I didn't understand why they put hair in their mouth when they braided it. That's just me. Sometimes when you're a braider, it's a habit, especially when you're just braiding them down long. So that's probably why they do it. No harm, no foul. But now I'm seeing people saying, like, they scalp was getting like pussy, like all kind of, like it's like something in it now that's causing for you to have like an outbreak in your scalp. And some people saying it can cause cancer, braiding hair. And it's like, these problems we never had before. We never had issues with braiding hair. You never had an issue where you was damn near hospitalized for braiding hair. But now, all of a sudden, it's like all this stuff is causing cancer. Especially, yes, cancer. Because I remember cancer used to be rare. It was like everybody didn't have cancer. It was rare that you had cancer. But now it's like everything is causing cancer. Like, why is everything causing cancer now? I'm just wondering. Y'all let me know. What y'all think?
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, bro. You get your goddamn. So, the moment I decided to leave the wigs alone and start to do braids on my own head, y'all gonna decide to, like, put cancer in the braided hair? Is we being serious? Like, I literally have a pack of braided hair right here to finish up my hair. Y'all gonna really sit here and put cancer in the braided hair? Like, how are y'all even putting these harsh chemicals in the braiding hair? Nothing is authentic no more. Like, where is this coming about? Like, why is carcinogen, lead, and acetone being found in braided hair? That is crazy. Is y'all cool? Because I don't think y'all cool. What are y'all trying to do to us? It's not only going to affect the person that's getting their head braided, but it's also going to affect the braider. So, is y'all cool? In some other countries, what are they trying to do to the Americans? Because I need to know. Because that's a little weird. What are y'all trying to do to the black culture? Because we're really the ones that's rocking the braids. Like, be for real. Like, we've been doing this. And all of a sudden, now it's starting to give people cancer. That's crazy and suspicious as hell. But these manufacturing companies out of the country are the ones that's providing these braiding hair. So I'm starting to think that y'all putting something in the human wigs that we be buying too. Because if y'all can put something in the braiding hair, y'all know that we're heavy on the wigs. Black people, the black culture love the wigs and we patronize y'all. I'm already knowing y'all could put it in the wigs. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm literally like not even finished with my head and I hear this, like, this come about. Really?
Now, some black women feel this is a form of racism on a method of trying to bully black women, like back in the 1700s with women wearing hair scarves on their head. Now, I haven't seen much about white women, and when it comes to extensions and synthetic hair pieces and clip-ons, but mainly solely on the black woman and her hair. Recently, we've been getting so many claims and so many discoveries on that the things that we use on our hair is either causing cancer, allergic reactions, with some people actually getting alopecia. Now, this makes me think about, why is it that within black hair care, all of these chemicals are being used, but within white hair care, barely anything is even happening with their shampoos, conditioners, or anything that they're using? Why is it within the black woman's beauty products that this is causing issues? Why is it not around the whole entire border of things? It does make you think, that this is an agenda to a certain extent, but it also makes me see that we just need to come up with our own products for everything. When it comes to, we need to have our own hair bundles. We need to go in the factories. We need to know what it's made of. We need to know what it's derived from. Not being so easily deceived and manipulated. I think this is a wake-up call for us as Black women when it comes to our beauty, our hair, and setting the standards when it comes down to our health. Until next time, bye.
you